Welcome to the Belated Tech Channel's 89th edition and second year of the Space and Tech Rewind. We are reviewing the milestones that occurred on each day of the week of February 14th through February 20th in space exploration, science, and technology. February 14th, 1747. A paper on the discovery of Earth's wobbling motion on its axis by British astronomer James Bradley was read at the Royal Society on this date. For this variation, he coined the name nutation, from the Latin word nutare, or to nod. Bradley first noticed the fluctuation during his studies of parallax at amateur astronomer Samuel Molyneux's observatory at the Kew House in the Richmond area of London. Attributing the fluctuation to the moon's gravitational influence, he withheld any announcement until he observed a full cycle of the motion of the moon's nodes, which took about 18.6 years. In 1748, in recognition of his discovery, he was honored with a Copley Medal of the Royal Society. Bradley died in 1762, age 69. The Molyneux Observatory was torn down along with the rest of the Kew House in 1803. February 15, 1994. Former CIA Deputy Director for Plans Richard M. Bissell died on this date. Bissell's principal accomplishment was the heading of the development of the successful U-2 spy plane. The U-2, which was developed in 1955, is still in service, making it one of the longest-serving aircraft next to the Boeing B-52 bomber, the Boeing KC-135 tanker, and the Lockheed C-130 cargo transport. The U-2 also led to the development of the A-12, which was in service for 1 year in 1967, and was upgraded to the SR-71, which served for 33 years before being replaced by orbital satellites. Bissell is best known as the mastermind behind the disastrous Bay of Pigs invasion of Cuba in 1961. Bissell's first plan was given only a 30% chance of success by the U.S. Joint Chiefs of Staff. His second was even less probable, and was further hobbled by President Kennedy's insistence of plausible deniability and a sharp reduction in tactical resources. After Castro's regulars rounded up or killed the entire 1,500-man invasion force, the strongman pinned the whole debacle on the U.S. anyway, and it became an enduring embarrassment. Bissell was offered reassignment to an R&D post, and he resigned instead. He spent the rest of his career in anonymity in the defense industry, and then quietly retired. His memoirs were released in 1996, only after he had been dead for 2 years. February 16, 1962. Spurred by NASA's public interest in developing female astronauts, the Soviet Union selected 5 female cosmonauts for the Vostok manned spaceflight program on this date. The women had to be parachutists under 30 years of age, under 67 inches tall, and under 154 pounds. The candidates received a complete course of cosmonaut training, including weightless flights, 120 parachute jumps, isolation tests, centrifuge tests, academic studies of rocket theory and spacecraft engineering, and pilot training in a MiG-15 UTI jet trainer. One of the 5, Valentina Tereshkova, became the first woman in space on June 16, 1963. After Tereshkova's flight, there were plans for all-female Vostok or Soyuz flights, but these never materialized. The female training group was disbanded in October of 1969. The Soviet Union used only male cosmonauts until the 1980s, when women again were recruited, in order to again have a Soviet woman in space before the Americans finally began flying female astronauts on the space shuttle. Astronaut Sally Ride became the first U.S. woman in space as part of the STS-7 mission on the Shuttle Challenger. Enjoying our content? We issue new videos every week, so be sure to subscribe so you stay current. Subscribing is free, and we encourage you to browse our 350-plus video library, where you can find more milestone installments for every day of the year, as well as tech documentary segments, current events in space exploration, science, and technology, gameplay recordings, reviews of tools and equipment, and reviews of small electronics and appliances. Each video is tagged with an alphanumeric identifier in the title, so searches for particular segments are quick and easy. February 17, 1976, the Soviet Union's Council of Soviet Ministers formally announced the cancellation on this date of the N-1 rocket. The N-1 was a super heavy lift launch vehicle that was the analog to the US's Saturn V rocket used in the Apollo lunar program. Development of the N-1 had begun as early as 1959. Its first stage remains the most powerful rocket stage ever built. All of the 4 flown N-1 Block A first stages failed during launch. Blame has fallen on the large number of engines, 30, and the resulting complexity in fuel and oxidizer feeder systems. The urgency for an interplanetary lift vehicle had waned considerably after the last Apollo lunar flight in 1972 and the last Saturn V launch in 1975. Like the US, the Soviet Union was already spending a fortune on its space shuttle program, and there was little funds left over for manned flight beyond Earth's orbit. It would be decades before there were replacements for the Saturn V and the N-1. Russia's Khrunichev State Research and Production Center developed the Proton M rocket, which first launched in 2001. McDonnell Douglas developed the Delta IV Heavy rocket, which first launched in 2004. And SpaceX developed the Falcon Heavy, which first launched in 2018. February 18, 1977, the first U.S. space shuttle orbiter, the Enterprise, embarks on its maiden flight in captive mode, attached to the top of a Boeing 747 jumbo jet on this date. It was to be the first of 5 captive flights before the orbiter was finally released to land on its own. The purpose of the Enterprise was to demonstrate that the orbiter could fly and land like an airplane. The Enterprise was never launched into space. The space shuttle was the only element of the 1969 Space Transportation System that NASA would operationally field. A whole system of space stations, orbital tugs, lunar spacecraft, and interplanetary nuclear spaceships were never built. The shuttle first flew in 1981. Like the human appendix, an organ that no longer serves its original purpose, the shuttle ended along with the STS plan in 2011. Have you agreed with our choices, or do you think there are other events in space and tech history that were better? Go ahead and share with us by dropping a comment below. If you have suggestions for other space and tech milestones, let us know. We'll credit milestones we pick for future videos to those viewers that post them. And don't forget to click the bell notification icon so you don't miss upcoming videos. February 19, 2008, Toshiba canceled its HD DVD format on this date. Sony's rival Blu-ray format had garnered the support of too many content producers and electronics manufacturers, dooming Toshiba's efforts. A single-layer HD DVD disc could hold 15 gigabytes of data, while a 2-layer version could hold twice that. This was somewhat less than a Blu-ray disc, which could hold 25 gigabytes of data for a single-layer version, 50 gigabytes for a 2-layer, 100 gigabytes for a 3-layer, and 128 gigabytes for 4 layers. Both formats were significantly superior to the standard DVD disc, which could only hold 4.7 gigabytes to 17.1 gigabytes, depending on the number of layers. February 20th, 1962, John Glenn becomes the first American to orbit the Earth, riding aboard Friendship 7 on this date. His capsule orbits the Earth 3 times in 4 hours and 55 minutes. Friendship 7 was Glenn's name for the Mercury Atlas 6 mission, launched from the Cape Canaveral Air Force Station's Launch Complex 14. Glenn splashed down in the North Atlantic Ocean and was picked up by the destroyer USS Noah. The capsule is currently on display at the Smithsonian's National Air and Space Museum building in downtown Washington, D.C. On February 1st, 2022, it was revealed in a court filing in the U.S. District of Northern California that Musk testified that his now infamous tweet claiming that an investor had agreed to fund a 2018 buyout of Tesla was entirely truthful. Tesla is being sued in a shareholder class action filed in the wake of his tweet 4 years ago. Musk had then tweeted, quote, "Am considering taking Tesla private at $420. Funding secured," The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission charged Musk with fraud for his tweet, leading to $40 million in fines from Musk and his company, his stepping down as chairman of Tesla, and a requirement that his tweets be vetted by company lawyers. In the filing, Musk's attorneys claimed he had approached the Tesla board pre-tweet with a $420 a share offer, a 20% premium to where the stock was trading that day in 2018. The filing also says Musk had his own financial and legal advisors working on a deal. The names of the alleged advisors are redacted from the court motion. It is believed that the Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund was the investor working with Musk. The Financial Times reported on August 7, 2018, that the fund had bought nearly a 5% stake in Tesla. Musk that same day posted his now infamous $420 tweet. Sapif later reported that it had sold nearly all of its Tesla shares in early 2020. Tesla shares were traded at the time of this video $4,000 per share pre-split, 10 times the buyout offer's price. We hope you enjoyed this 89th episode of Belated Tech Space and Tech Rewind. If so, click that like button. Once again, don't forget to subscribe, or just stay in touch by following us on our microblogging accounts, which are listed below, the community feed for this channel, our Instagram feed, and our Minds page. We announce all new videos and post some unique content on those outlets. And if you prefer an alternative video distribution source, consider visiting our channel on Rumble. Thanks for watching.
Cable guy!
No thanks, I don't need cable. I have Verizon 5G internet.
Never heard of it.
5G ultra wideband? It's way better.
I see. So somehow, your home is connected to Verizon's ultra-fast 5G network wirelessly, without miles and miles of this. Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Wait! Can I see it?
Sure.
Whoa!
They must have locked you into quite a contract.
Nope.
Hidden fees?
Nope. Price is the price. Got one at my shop too. Runs my business.
This may be illegal. I'm gonna need to know who installed this.
Me. It's plug and play. But you can have Verizon install it.
Nice van. Reception's good. But I'll come back tomorrow and double check. No,
I don't think we'll need you to...